This is part B of question was it again? Of question 9 from the January 2021 CSEC Mathematics past paper. Now, what it says. I copied this over here. So let's look at it from this point. It says, from a harbor H. So you have H here, from the harbor H. The bearing of two buoys, S and Q. You have Q up here, and you have S down here, are 185 degrees and 311 degrees. Well, they don't show the bearings here. I guess you're supposed to show it later on, respectively. Q is 5.4 kilometers from H, all right, and S is 3.5 kilometers from H. What they say? Oh, on the diagram below, which shows a sketch of this information, insert the value of the marked angle QHS. So they want you to show the angle QHS, or the marked angle. All right, something that you're going to have to figure out. So I want you to pause the video and figure that out. All right, you pause, you finished. You want QHS. What could it be? All right. See if you can get it from the bearings here. From H, the bearing of S from H is 185. So the bearing of S from H, 185. You can see it here already. All right. You have S down here. You have your north line, and the angle here is 185. They also say the bearing of Q from H is 311. So if you have your north line here, your line from H to Q is this. The bearing would be from the north in a clockwise direction, all the way here. All right. So this angle is 311 degrees. Now, what happened here again? You have part of this as 185. So what remains, which would be here, would be what? Is the remainder 311 minus 185. That would be the angle. All right. So just to make it quick, 311 minus 185 is what? 311 minus 185 equal 126. You have 126 degrees. All right. 126 degrees. So let's put it down there. So that would be 126 degrees. That's QHS, the angle QHS. Let me write it here too. 126 degrees. All right. What else they say now? Calculate QS, the distance between the two buoys. QS. All right. So The angle that they want you to calculate is that angle Q. I mean, not angle, the line, the distance they want you to calculate is that. So, here now, you have S to Q is 180. The distance Q from H. Q is 5.4 kilometer from H. Put that in. So Q from H, 5.4 kilometers. And S is 3.5 kilometer from H. S 3.5 kilometers from H. Alright? So you have those distances. Now, remember now, this, you're not told that whether by the paper or calculation that is a right angle triangle. So, you can assume that it is not a right angle triangle. So you cannot use the trig ratios with the sine equal opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent. You cannot use any of that. You cannot use Pythagoras theorem to calculate anything here. What you're going to have to use the sine and cosine rule. Alright? So, let's look at our formula sheet or a list of formula. Alright. Let me just copy this part here and go back to where we were. And paste this right here. Alright, so in our formula, right? What we have here is something somewhat similar to this, but let's look at what the formula is saying, because you have to know how to use the sine and cosine rule. In fact, I won't bother to use sine rule. I know from early that sine rule won't work. Once you have an angle and two sides, you want to find the length of the opposite side, is going to be the cosine rule. Alright? If you try to use the sine rule, you'll see that it's not going to work. It's definitely cosine rule. Now, look at this. This triangle saying that a squared, a is this side, right? A squared is equal to the other sides, b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos angle A. So you apply that argument to this. Now remember, is the angle, the side squared equal the second side squared plus the third side squared minus 2 times the second side, the third side, cos of the angle opposite to the side you're going to calculate. Alright? So, let's try that on this question that we have. If we call this our A, our B, if we call this our A, this our B, and this our C, right? What happened to part of the kilometer there? It's 3.5 kilometer. Where did the part of the A and the M go. Anyway, what you would be saying from that is A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos of the angle A. Alright? And that angle was 126. See that? So, let's calculate. Alright. You pause the video and calculate it for me. Calculate A. Alright, you did. You finished. What did you get for A? Alright. A squared equals, it's going to be 5.4 squared plus 3.5 squared minus 2 by 5.4 by 3.5 cosine 126 degrees. Alright, so let's do that now. A squared equals 5.4 squared. Let's work it out on our calculator. Alright, so what we have is 5.4 squared plus 3.5 squared. That gives 41.41. That is 41.41 minus. Then it's going to be 2.2 by 5.4 by 3.5, 37.8. That's 37.8 times cos 126. What's the cosine of 126? The cos. Make sure everything is in degrees. All right. The cosine of 126 equals negative 0.587. All right. Negative 0.588. Negative 0.588. So A squared equals, now it's going to be 40. It's going to be 41.41 minus. But it's going to be a plus because a minus, this time negative. So it's a minus negative. So minus 3.5 multiplied by minus 5.88 give you a plus. So negative times negative gives a positive. 37.5 by 0.588. So let's look at that. So that's going to be, all right, let's clear it. 37, I say, it's 37 point what? Oh, 2 by that. It's 37.8 it should be. Why did I write 37.5? It's 37.8. 37.8 times 0.588 equal 22.226. I keep at least 3 decimal places while working out the questions, alright? Should be 8. Alright, so that's A squared. A squared is what? So now you want to finish up that part of the calculation. 41.41 plus 22.26. What does that give you? 41.41 plus 22.226. 41.41 plus 22.226 equal 63.636. So you have 63.636. Now A, well, of course, with the square root of 63.636, which is what? Square root that you get 7.9, call it 7.98. 7.98 kilometers. I round it off to less than 2 now because I've finished finding the answer. 7.98 kilometers. Alright, so that's what I got. Alright. What else do they say you're supposed to do? Calculate the, so QS is the distance between the two boys. Then calculate the bearing of S from Q. Bearing of S from Q. Did I copy that before? Alright, yes. We have our 7.98. Let's write it down here. 7.98 kilometers. Alright. Bearing of S from Q. That's what we want. Let's erase some of the working here. We have the 7.98 there already, so let's erase this. Alright. Let's just get rid of some of these things, which I don't think we're going to be using. Oh, maybe we'll use some of them now. Alright, let's make these numbers remain there. Alright. So here now. Bearing of S from Q. I want you to pause the video and calculate that for me. Alright, you did that? So C. From Q means you're going to draw your north line at Q. You have a straight line between S and Q. So you have your curve from the north line to that straight line. So that is the angle that you must calculate the bearing of S from Q. Alright? Now, in calculating that, let us see something here. Suppose we extend this line. Then this angle would be the same as this angle here. Alright? Now, right in here, this angle here would be what? It would be 180 minus 126. Alright? Hope you see why. So, that angle 180 minus 126 is 180 minus 126 equals 54 degrees. 54 degrees. Alright? Now, This angle out here that remains, what would it be? That would have to be 185 minus 54. Alright, let's put it up here. 185 minus 54. 5 minus 4 is 1. 8 minus 5 is what? 3. 131 we get. Alright, so here, remember this is the 185. So, we have 131. But how would that help us? Oh, guess what? It's not the same angle. It would be this angle, not this up here. It's not this angle. It would be similar to. It would be similar to this angle. All right. So this here, from here to here, this angle would be all 131. So this angle here is all 131 degrees. Now we need to add this to the 131 to get the bearing. Alright? Now how can we get that bearing? Let's see if we can use the sine rule. I should practice the sine rule, right? If we consider this as our A, oh, it would not be small a, it would be big A. Alright? And this is our small a. Let's use a different color. This is our angle A that we want to find now. This is our side A. Let's say this 126 is our angle B, and this is our side B, opposite to it. Now what does the sine rule say? Side A over angle A, sine of angle A equal the side B over the sine of angle B equal the side C over the sine of angle C. Notice side lowercase letter, angle uppercase letter, opposite. They're opposite to each other. Alright? So the side A does not brush along the angle. You have the angle A here. The side C rubs the side of the angle A. The side B also rub up against the side of angle A. But the side A stays far from it. Alright? So, here now. What you say is A, oh, lowercase, A, which is this here, over sine angle A equal B, the side B over the sine of angle B. Okay? So, in this case now, A was what? We can just write the number now. 3.5 over the sine of angle A, whatever it is, equals B, which is 7.98 over the sine of angle B, which is 126. You see that? So 3.5 over sine A, whatever it is, equals, let's use our calculator now and just do a quick run of this one. You have 7.98 divided by, let's put it in open bracket just to be safe, divided by the sine of 126 close bracket equal 9.864 when you round off. 9.864. Alright? When you transpose this and mix it up, you're going to get sine A equals 3.5 over 9.864. Alright? So, sine A equals, what does that give you now? What does that give? It's going to be 3.5 divided by this equals 0.3, call it 0.3548. 0.3548. Alright? Now you know that sine A is 0.3548. What is A? And how are you going to get A? You have to remember, A is the sine inverse of 0.3548. You have to remember that. So A equals. Alright, let's see how I do the sine inverse on this calculator. You know, with the scientific calculator, you press shift or second function. With this one now, what do I do? Sine where's the inverse? There should be some inverse somewhere here. Look like this is it. Sine inverse of that equals, and I have 20.78 degrees. 20.78 degrees. Now remember, the 20.78 degrees is just A alone, right? It's 20.78. Now the bearing would be 131 plus that. So bearing would be 121 plus 20.78. That will give you what? 121, 20.78, 121.00. 8 and 0, 8, 7, 0, 7, 1 and 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1. Alright, so I have 141.78 degrees. You can round it off to 142 degrees if you want. Alright, it's very close. Alright, so let's see. That's the end of question 9. Next time, we'll look at question 10.